So this funny thing happened on Sunday. The early games, which for me started 10 on one channel, I was getting the Cowboys Chiefs, and on the other channel, I saw like the first 5 minutes of Rams Vikings. Then it suddenly flipped over to Giants Raiders, and around halftime, it jumped over to Steelers Lions, and then a few more times it jumped back and forth between the Raiders Giants and Lions Steelers game. And after those games were over, it gave me the last 4 minutes of the Ravens Bengals game. So I don't know why that was, but that's the best NFL coverage I've gotten in a long time. They actually gave me a bunch of different games. I mean, I had no control over which one I got to watch at any given time, but usually my football coverage up here sucks. Like next week, I'm getting 4 games total, counting Sunday and Monday night. So that was actually pretty cool. So let's start things off with Bengals Ravens. 17-14 Bengals, and like I said, I watched the last 4 minutes. I was tracking this game because it's obviously a very big game, and it feels like the individual players on that Ravens defense are playing well, but I don't think the unit's playing that well. And as for why that is, you look a little bit at Rex Ryan. He's not there anymore. Um, I don't know who their cornerbacks are anymore. They might still have Samare Roll, but I'm not actually sure about that. But I think they may have an issue there. And again, I think the players are playing well, but as a unit, their opposing teams are moving the ball. I mean, San Diego threw for 400 plus on them. The Pats moved the ball, and now the Bengals moved the ball. I know it's kind of a low-scoring game, but still. And on that last drive, the Bengals, they had to move the ball down the field, and they did. And people are talking about those 3 personal foul penalties on that last drive, but I watched all 3 of them. Again, I got to watch the last 4 minutes, and those were all legit. I'm sorry, but it really was. I mean, I could see those hits going uncalled in certain situations, but you can't complain when it is called because I watched those. I saw legit penalties. I'm sorry. So, to me, more than anything, it's just ridiculous that you could commit 3 penalties on the game deciding drive like that. And really, I'm kind of disappointed in guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed for not knowing better than that. And that's what it came down to. If you don't give them those free 40 something yards, you probably win that game. And that's ultimately what it came down to. But, really throughout the whole game, Cedric Benson played well. And, Cedric Benson's obviously a different running back than the old Cedric Benson, but still. And really, the Ravens' offense, I guess it didn't play too poorly or anything, but I was a little disappointed in their output today because they only put 14 points on the board, and 7 of those were a pick 6 by Ed Reed, so they kind of underperformed. But it was a great game. The Bengals sure deserved to win, and that's really all you can say. And right now, I don't know about this Ravens team. It seems like you can move the ball on them, but we'll find out. Browns and Bills, I don't know. And if anybody went to this game, if anybody watched this whole game, I feel really bad for you. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I thought last week Redskins Bucks game was bad, but this was comical. This was historical ineptitude, and you know what? I take it back. Trent Edwards does suck. He should get out of my league, get out of my NFL. He really does. And I think some Bills fans are starting to officially turn on him. Obviously, everybody's turned on Dick Jauron. He should be out there. He should be out of there any day now, I'd presume. And let's just move on. That's just depressing. Redskins Panthers 20-17 Carolina, and really what I took out of this game is that Carolina still isn't any good. I mean, they fell down 17-2. I actually thought it was over. I thought they're not making up a 15-point differential with Jake Delhomme as their quarterback, but they did, and props to them for making plays on special teams and getting some stops on defense. I mean, both the Redskins touchdowns came off red zone field position thanks to their defense. But really, what I got from this game is that I see a lot of Panthers fans talking about turning it around. I see Panthers fans talking about how, well, we're going to win the next 4 games in a row. We're going to be 4-3, and we'll be in position for the playoffs. We're not done. We still have a good run in us, and I don't know. Did you guys watch this game? I'm sorry, guys, but I don't see how Carolina is good because they beat the Redskins by 3 points and really that punt return thing was kind of a fluky play when you think about it, and that's what won them the game. So it's nice to win. I'll give them credit for winning because they did mount a good comeback and they deserve to win. But it's weird because I see all these Panthers fans talking as if this is going to turn around their season, and uh, is there something I don't see here? The Redskins are awful. Awful. Steelers Lions. I got to watch a little bit of this game. I got to see that long touchdown to Holmes. I think maybe it was Mike Wallace. I can't remember, but that's about all I saw because I was concentrating on Cowboys Chiefs because that ended up being a good game. But um, I got to give it up to Culpepper. He looked real good throughout a lot of that game. He did not play nearly as bad as I thought he would. He went out there, he ran well, he actually threw the ball well. And he didn't have Calvin Johnson for most of this game because he got hurt early. And really, I was impressed with the way they were able to move the ball on Pittsburgh. And in the fourth quarter, they actually mounted a valiant comeback attempt. But, they were down by 8, got in close to the red zone, and then Culpepper crapped the bed and took 3 sacks and looked like the Culpepper we all remember. But you got to give some props to him. He gave it his all. And really, I don't know, that Lions team, they might not stink. I'll say that. I'll say that much about him. And really not much I can say from the Pittsburgh side because this game kind of went how I felt it would. That's why I stayed away from the spread because the Steelers were favored by like 10.5, and I was like, I don't know about that one. But yeah, actually, I'll talk about gambling maybe a little bit later. Cowboys and Chiefs, 26-20 in overtime in favor of Dallas. And I watched this whole game, and I bet on the Chiefs +9, so I needed the Chiefs to lose by 8 or less, or win, or tie. So throughout that whole game, I was feeling so good about that bet because I put it down at the last second, and I was thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to watch this game, and hopefully we don't see this long Miles Austin touchdown in the first quarter, and hopefully we don't see Tashard Choice breaking off a 50-yard run, and then I'll just feel like crap because my bet really would look stupid in there. But we got to see the muffed punt by Patrick Creighton. We got to see that botched snap by Andre Gerard or whatever. We got to see some pressures given up by the offensive line of Dallas, and I felt so good about that bet throughout the whole game. I know maybe it wasn't too hard of a bet to see, but I felt like a freaking genius all throughout that whole game because I was confident Dallas would win like they did, but I knew it would be close, and that's exactly what we got. Castle played great, and the defense, it's really Dallas did a lot of shooting themselves in the foot, and that's really not that hard to predict. That's a pretty common occurrence and something that seems to happen quite a bit, but at the end of the day, Miles Austin obviously had that incredible game, and Romo played real well. I don't think he played as well as his stats indicate because I've watched that whole game and it seemed like there were some parts where things weren't going. But at the end of the day, he played excellent. He did what he needed to do. And Tashard Choice had a nice game, and it was bizarre because really when Marion Barber's hurt, when he's trying to play through an injury, there's really no point in putting him out there because it seems like he needs to be healthy in order to run effectively. So it just seems like a big waste of time when you're putting him out there and he can't run. But Tashard came in and played well, and those are a couple guys you scoop up off the waiver wire, and maybe you start them once or twice, Miles Austin and Tashard Choice, and hope they do it for you. And hopefully it worked out for you guys. So it was a good game. I mean, the Chiefs, they came up with that touchdown drive at the end when they really needed it, and I kind of wanted them to go for 2. I kind of sort of thought they should have gone for 2, but they decided to go the other way with that one, and Dallas needed it, I guess. Giants Raiders, again, I got to watch a good portion of this game, and I don't know what to say. I hear about games like that sometimes. I read about it, but I rarely get to see it. A game where one team just makes the other look like a high school team, and holy hell. I mean, the Giants could do no wrong in that game. Everything they did worked. I don't know what else you can say about it. I mean, Oakland scored a touchdown in the second quarter, and it was garbage time. It really was. I mean, the game was over 3 minutes in. I mean, the Raiders pretty much gave up after 3 minutes. That's all you can say. I mean, I don't blame them. Their head coach is probably going to jail, so what kind of motivation does that give you? But very impressed with the way the Giants came out. They won me some money along with the Eagles and Vikings, and it's going to be a good showdown this weekend, and that's about it.